Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of game news and all that good stuff. And as always, before I proceed, I also publish on Rumble and I'm in this social stuff here, mainly on Twitter. So not much here, but some interesting things here. Sapphire is going to launch like a 7900 XT, so the lower high end per se, without the vapor chamber, which basically means that it's like a solid block of copper, which manages to be a little bit more cheaper. And I think here on this image you got they don't have like a LED light strip, which is okay. The boost clocks are a little bit lower, but it's still supposedly this is at least at the moment in the China market, because they are Chinese manufactured. They managed to get around 500 RMBs cheaper than the vapor chamber edition. So I don't know in terms of how performance wise it's going to get, but at least it's a little bit more cheaper if you really want to. But I think the vapor chamber had some quality on in terms of cooling efficiency, and the fact that it managed to get the where is it now, the boost clocks here. Yeah, boost clocks, I think this is basically boost clocks. I'm not sure about regarding the like the normal because supposedly boost clocks, I don't know if the when they mention always the boost clocks, it is like a maintained boost or peak clocks. I'm always on doubt on that. I always assume it's just boost to maintain. But now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's morning in my time. I'm just I'm wandering around in some thoughts here. But yeah, there's more versions here from the 7900 XT. It's the Nitro version, but without the vapor chamber. Regarding AMD, we got also some like reference design like leaks here from the 7600. We already, I think the only thing here is you can see it's a very short card, which is supposed to be one. I don't know why people are a little bit surprised regarding this. It's like a very low end GPU. It's like the bottom of the barrel per se in terms of their GPU stack. So I don't know why people are so surprised about this. But yeah, we already knew. They mentioned here that it only has like 8 lanes of PCI Gen 4, which is not even. I don't even think the only one that can take advantage of 16 lanes, even like PCI Gen 5, it's the 4090. The rest can take. At this low end, 8 lanes, it's not a big issue here, because it's not going to take advantage of the 16 lanes. From what I understand, in this low end of a card of GPUs, they don't manage to use the full bandwidth of the 16 lanes, so I don't think it's anything to write about it. Even though, of course, this is mostly to make it cheaper, because they are not electrically connected, so it's less materials that goes into manufacturing the GPU. But yeah, they have the 4 display stuff still, 2 free DisplayPort 2.1 and 1 HDMI 2.1. I think this is like the full spec of the 2.1 HDMI. Only 1 8-pin power, it's more than enough. 2 slot design, more than enough again. The only thing here is basically the pictures of the reference design here. We don't know if the AIB is going to follow through in this kind of a size of cooler design here. I don't think it needs to be that much of a monster GPU. It's overkill, and it only adds to the price of the final GPU. The more simpler, the better, because at this price point and this standard performance, people just want something to play with at 1080p, medium to high settings at this moment, give or take. but we will see. Again, it will launch 25th of this month, so in 5 days or so. So reviews are going to come up during this week for this one, and also for the 4060 Ti and the 4060. 46 only comes in June or July. I don't even remember now. But yeah. Again, but we saw this one, ASUS and ASRock's. I don't know, free fans on a cooler design. I don't know. This is kind of okay. Free fans, I think it's a little bit too overkill here for this kind of GPU. I think something around this with 2 slots, occupying 2 slots, is more than enough. Something like this, it's more than enough. Regarding ASUS, I already mentioned the things with GamerNext and everything. Since I been gaming and buying gaming components, I never paid too much attention. I pay also some attention to ASUS, but I never bought it. I don't remember buying their products, mainly because in my market at the time it was too much expensive regarding from the rest of the competition. Usually I was always around MSI because it was in terms of performance from what I bought at the time, from even GPUs, motherboards. Basically, it was at the time what I bought. I think basically all the things are a little bit cheaper, and the performance was at the time when I read the reviews, it's always the same. But the latest stuff they went through with this thing with the motherboards and the AMD CPUs is not good. I don't recommend, because you never know. The way they responded, the way they are doing things is not the best one to deal with the customers, and doesn't create the trust per se regarding their products and the warranties and everything. But yeah, we got these pictures here, but nothing to write home about. I just hope that the GPUs are very cheap, and at least they can have some gaming entry level, like 1080p 60 frames per second, around medium to high at least. I don't know, we will have to wait and see for the reviews regarding this GPU, and I think this is might compete almost the same level for the 4060 Ti, from what I understood regarding the info that is leaked and rumored to have and everything. Now, gaming news, we got if you didn't see, we got Mortal Kombat 1. So basically it's like a soft reboot of the franchise. It's like a reimagining of some sorts, and we already got some system requirements. They are relatively tame per se. Regarding the game itself, I think it's like a reimagining with some twists here, and I think we have like cameo fighters. I don't know, to assist main characters. I don't know if it's like combo stuff. I never paid many attention to fighting games. I remember playing Mortal Kombat in Mega Drive or whatever it was at the time. So long, very long time ago, more than 20 years ago. So it's when I played this game, because it was bundled with the console, I think. So basically it's my knowledge on Mortal Kombat and some of the movies here and there that came out. But yeah, the trailer seems pretty good, and the system requirements are kind of tamed. I suppose they were trying to compare with other games, even with which one? I don't remember which game they were trying to compare. But I assume they are more tame, because as a fighting game, there is not a lot of stuff to load in each fight. So there is not a lot of rendering happening. There is like an open world stuff, or even like a level stuff. So the levels are small, so the rendering stress on the hardware is not that much, I assume. Yeah, they were comparing Capcom Street Fighter 6. Well, that depends on what kind of an engine it goes and everything. So I don't understand. It depends, and also depends on how well optimized the game is. But as you can see, even for recommended, I assume 1080p 60 frames per second. I don't know, 1440p. I don't know. So to have an idea, like they should put at least some targeted resolution and frame rates. I think it's always good to have an idea, so people have an idea if they want more or less, what to expect in terms of hardware. But yeah, I assume this 1080p 60 frames per second, so GTX 1080 or similar, or even like an RX 5700 XT, or even an Intel Arc A77. So I think it's more than enough. 8 iCore 5 8th generation, and even a Ryzen 5 3600X. So it's 8 gigabytes of RAM. Again, I think this is more about textures, the size of this for the SSD. So not much to I never followed this game, but it's this kind of games, I don't think they are very demanding in terms of hardware specs, even compared with Hogwarts Legacy, and which they already sold like 1.3 billion in revenue. Doesn't mean it's profit, it's revenue. But yeah, it's amazing how they managed to garner, generate this much money. I think the last one we had like 15 million copies sold, and I'm not sure if it was at the time in all platforms. I think they are going to launch also in Nintendo Switch, so we'll see how it goes. It's always good to see that good games sell well. For all intents and purposes, from what I gather, this is a very good game. So it's good to see that it's selling well. I think the only thing that they might try to add here, like a DLC, I think it's like the thing with the game, the thing with the I always forget the name, Quidditch. I think they might add something like this. It will be good to see, because it's very famous stuff on the Harry Potter franchise. But I think Warner Bros. Is already doing like a multiplayer or co-op stuff with Quidditch game, which doesn't have anything to do with Portkit games. So we'll see how it goes. If they later they might add something for sure. Somebody is working on a mod to add Quidditch to this game for sure. I might see in a few months or so. I'm going to wrap up with some gaming deals. Not much happening. We got Mudrunner. It's a very kind of relaxing driving game, like kind of off-road simulation stuff here. You just deliver logs and everything, from what I understood. This is a very old, not very old, but it's a kind of oldie game, but it's very funny, and it can be challenging sometimes. They always do a lot of on the physics sides, but kind of technical, but it's not your Forza Motorsport or something like that. It's you take your time with this in every level. 80% off, very cheap game. It's always good support. These guys, they had some issues a few years ago regarding I think rights or publishing deals here. I think because I'm not sure, but I don't think that Focus Entertainment was the original one. But yeah, they are basically an indie studio. They have another game. I don't remember how it's called, but it's something runner. Should be around here. Mudrunner, Snow Runner. There it is. Yeah, it's on. It's a deal, 80% off. And we got also Midnight Suns, 50% off. Very good game, deck building, kind of XCOM style strategy layer and everything. Yeah, I only heard good things about it. Very positive. I think they already had all the DLCs here. So 5 more days here, 50% off. You can buy the I think it's Legendary Edition. Yeah, the Legendary Edition. I think it have all the DLC characters here. Don't go on these microtransactions things here. There is more than enough resources on the game to go about doing everything in the game. So as long as you strategize quite well. I think you don't have any issues, but the game is very good. The loop on the combat is quite addicting, and yeah, it's a recommendation from me. And finally, we got Dead Space collection. This Dead Space here is from the original ones. You can get it all free for $10. Of course, you have I mentioned the remake from Dead Space. I think 20% off. I referred for you on the yesterday's video regarding that. You can go to the description and check the link that I left there. But yeah, $10 for the free games. That's space free. It's okay-ish. Get the co-op stuff there. You are kind of locked out if you don't have like a co-op player to play certain areas of the game. But the first and the second one are very good, excellent horror games. The third one more actiony style. Not my thing, but it's playable, at least for the conclusion of the story here from Isaac Clarke. And basically this is it, guys. I'm going to wrap up with my Go Get Fund Me for me to upgrade my PC to get better and more content for my private clients, and also start doing them some video things after I upgrade the PC, of course. And in my free spare time, doing the daily videos, doing some deep dives with some scripted content, resuming my open series, and possibly start doing some live streams here and there, and all that good stuff. And with that said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, Kunamy Master out.